Good evening and salutations, my Days of Our Lives fans. I know it's in reverse. I usually do Days first and then GH after, but after I came back from the movie theaters, seeing how they didn't show Days on Channel 4 this morning, I was only able to record GH, and I figured I wanted to just kind of get that off my DVR, and that's why I did that one first. With that being said, let's talk about Allie. In the first 5 minutes, it's a great example of why I do not like this woman. So, Allie's there talking to Henry, and Nicole comes in and asks, where was you last night? You know what Allie does? Allie decides to give Nicole an attitude. Just 'cause. She apologizes, and then Nicole is just like, it's okay. And that's the reason, that's part of the reason why I do not like this character. Is because no one checks her on her actions, on her attitude, or anything. And she's just allowed to say and do whatever the hell she wants. And she's always, can be forgiven because everyone treats her as poor Allie. I really don't like that character at all. I mean, that's part of it. Her voice is another part. The fact that she always slouches. I mean, I can just, run through a list of reasons why I do not like this character. But, I'm not going to. Mostly because it would just give me a headache. So, Allie and Nicole talk. Nothing really comes from it. Allie is just kind of upset because, they're running a DNA test again. And, Kayla calls her up. This is after, so Kayla calls her up after she was at the house and dropped off the news to Tripp and Steve. Saying, you know what, the test came back, we ran another test, came back the same, and she really didn't want to talk to Tripp that much. Because she was like, listen, the science doesn't lie, and, how do we explain it? At that point, I guess she just didn't want to get into it with Tripp, so she just kind of walked off. I guess walked back to the office to talk to Nicole and Allie. And so she brings in Nicole and Allie, and, she's like, if you want to press charges, you're going to need this. They talk for a while. One second. They talk for a while, and, Allie's like, maybe if I say something, other people will speak up. I'm not going to sit there and say what this movement is. You all know what it is, and it is what it is. Now, here's the thing about Allie. And in this situation, while Allie annoys the living hell out of me, I would not wish that on anyone. So I am sympathetic towards what happened to Allie, because even if it's not Tripp, the point is, it still happened to her. And so I understand why she's doing what she's doing. It makes sense from her perspective. If this guy did something, other women can come up and kind of be able to speak their truth, can start to heal. And I understand it. I understand where she's coming from. It's just this Allie and her character just bothers me. So I tend to be really harsh on Allie because of her upbringing and the fact that no one checks her when she does anything, and everyone just excuses her behavior because it's poor Allie. But I understand where she's coming from. And so with that being said, Nicole's like, listen, if you want to do this, I'll back you. If you don't, whatever. And then she goes to, Price, Detective Price, and she's like, you know what, listen, I want to make a police report and file charges. So while that's going on, we got Trip and Steve. Now Steve is, I feel bad for him because it's like, what do I do? And he starts asking, listen, did somebody slip anything in your drink? Like, was it, it could have been some sort of tampering, because he even said, you know what, this isn't the first time, some sort of test results or whatever got tampered with in the lab. But he was like, listen, look me in the eye, and if you say what you say, if you say it again, I'll believe you. And Trip looked him right in the eye. He was like, I didn't do it. And so Steve believed him. And, they went up to Justin, who was talking to Bonnie. Now, I mean, honestly, to tell you the truth, I'm not going to lie, this scene was somewhat pointless. I mean, it was there, and I felt like it was just there for filler. But, all it really was Bonnie asking Justin for his forgiveness, and Justin said yes. That's pretty much about it. I mean, he talked about his wife's anniversary. She, I guess because she donated towards, like charity and Adrian's honor. And I think she also gave some money towards Sonny and Will to help them on their new business venture. That was about it. So after Steve's come over, he's like, listen, I need your help, clearing my son's name. And, Justin was like, listen, this is going to be an uphill battle, but we'll do what we can. Now, earlier, I don't understand. I mean, I get it. So let's talk about Eli and Brady. Here's the thing about Brady that just annoys the living hell out of me. And I'm trying to understand where he's coming from. But, so Eli comes over. And he's like, listen, I want to make sure that we're good. As far as you keeping your damn mouth shut on, my involvement with Kristen. And, me not losing Lonnie over this. And, Brady, I'm going to be honest, he pretty much just acting like a dick. And what annoys me is that Kristen did push Tran's daughter down a flight of steps and killed her. Okay? Kristen did stab Victor nearly to death. That's all stuff that she did. Okay? So, he's acting like, Eli arrested her for no reason, like she's going to jail and she's an innocent woman or something. Like, she literally did all those things. And yet he's sitting there acting like it's somehow his fault. Like, how dare you sit there and send my wife to jail for a crime that she committed? Like, seriously? I get it. I understand where I'm trying to understand where he's coming from to some extent. He's going to be a single father. His daughter's going to be missing his mother. He's going to be missing the love of his life. He's angry, he's upset, and he wants payback. And I get that to a certain extent. But I'm just like, bro, at the end of the day, like, you're wrong. And you acting immature and pretty much like a jackass isn't making you look better. So he's all like, I should ruin your happy ending, this, that, and the third. And he keeps sitting there making it seem like he's going to tell Lonnie that, what Eli did. Now, Lonnie, was with Abe, and she's concerned because he's not at the hospital. So she uses some sort of phone app or whatever to find him. And she gets to Brady's room. Brady opens up the door. And, Lonnie's like, what are you doing here? Brady covers for him. And then they leave. Brady's sitting there talking to his daughter like, oh, I could have just blew his life apart, but, I didn't, and I really wanted to, and I have to tell you the truth, at that point I was like, you know what, bro, I really want to care, but you are making it so damn hard. You really are. And yeah, that's actually about it. I kind of want to make sure, that's why I was not there looking at my little cheat sheet, I want to make sure that I didn't miss anything or anything that I felt was too important. If I did, most likely probably wasn't. And also, I'm sorry if you wanted me to talk about it. But I don't think I really missed much. I felt like the whole Justin and Bonnie thing was kind of filler. And, yeah, that's pretty much about it. Yeah. So anyway, apologies for it coming out so late. They didn't really play it. I think I mentioned this before, but they didn't really play it today around 12 when I usually watch it. And, I couldn't find it on demand. So somebody, by the way, thank you, let me know that it was on YouTube. So, I guess I gotta get the Peacock network on my PlayStation 4. But yeah, with that being said, that's actually gonna do it for this review. Let me know what you thought of this episode. Did you side with Brady? Did you side with Eli? I'm still siding with Eli. I mean, honestly, to tell you the truth, at this point, I feel like, you know what, Eli, you having all these nightmares. You're constantly sitting there sweating around Brady. Just do yourself a favor and tell her the damn truth. And let her decide on what she's going to do. Because this whole lying and hiding stuff and, like, I mean, at the end of the day, if she gets upset and she leaves you, that's really on her. Because, you know, at the end of the day, Eli was not there doing something to protect her. And, you know, the fact of the matter is, she could have went to jail. She could have lost her job. She, like, all this stuff could have really happened to her because of her choices. And she, you know, puts Eli in that cross line, you know, in that crosshair. Like, he could have been arrested. He could have lost his job. So, if anything, if Lonnie learns the truth and decides to leave, you know what? In a lot of ways, Eli's a lot better off, you know? In some ways. I say in some ways because I haven't watched the show that long, and I don't know all the trials and tribulations that they went through, but just judging on the fact that he lied and covered for her, when he didn't have to, like, and he's pretty much had to sit there and make a deal with somewhat of the devil at the time, just to protect her from herself. Anyway, enough of me ranting. I'm gonna go. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you thought of this episode. Sorry that it came out so late. Like I said, I was at the movies earlier. And then, well, here I am. So, I'm gonna go. Have a good day or good night, depending on when you're watching this. Be safe. I will catch you in the next review.